Hey.
I'm Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters are most very welcome guests. I have a vocabulary quiz for you brilliant people. These are words that many of you should be familiar with, or you might even use them every single day. Let's see if you recognize. Oops. LOL. Laugh out loud. You are correct.
Oh, lots of love?
It used to mean that the most dominant meaning right now
Land
is...
O'Lakes, Florida.
We also have along the same vein, rolling on the floor laughing.
Oh.
Or...
Best friends forever.
Best friends forever.
Oh my goodness.
How about this one?
In my humble opinion.
Exactly. You are brilliant. By the way, how about this one?
Be right back.
Alright. You're a good crowd.
Talk to you later.
Oh, I cannot stump you people.
Later.
Alright? The same way.
Great.
And should be a piece of cake.
I love you more. No?
Or just I love you or I heart you. I love. So these are phrases that have come to be known by many different names, like SMS language or textese or text speak. Simple by virtue of the fact that its primary use is in text messaging in the phones, or also in online communication like instant messaging. And as you can guess, it's mainly used by those born in the technology age, young people. See, for persons aged 12 to 17, texting has surpassed phone, email, and face-to-face communication as a primary way to communicate. So this is a big deal. Don't think it's just a fad by some kids. The Oxford English Dictionary recently added at least 4 of those words to their dictionary. LOL, BFF, they're in there. So this is quite a phenomenon in our language, and a lot of people do not like this. There are persons that think that this is a sign of oncoming illiteracy for the next generation. Right? We have quotes from persons saying things, for example, like texting is bleak, bald, sad shorthand, which masks dyslexia, poor spelling, and mental laziness. Or texters are vandals, doing to our language what Genghis Khan did to his neighbors 800 years ago.
Yeah.
These people don't like text speak. Would you agree? What do you think?
No.
I mean, for me, I once considered whether or not this was coming from the same source, the same kind of intellectual laziness that causes persons online, when I meet them in forums, they're misspelling everything. You're trying to correct them on using the word literally properly, or how to spell loose, or which version of there to use. And they say they don't care, because as long as you get what they mean, then they shouldn't have to take with precaution. So like the same kind of mental laziness, I don't know. These are the same kind of persons who see something more than 4 or 5 paragraphs and say, you know what, it's too long, didn't read. Now,
Too long, didn't read.
that is quite ironic to me, because there are some big drawbacks in the textese. For one, it's proven that the more condensed your writing is, the harder it is to understand its meaning. And there are studies showing that even for the most skilled texters, even though it makes it shorter to type, it takes twice as long for them to read these same messages. Too long. Right? So I want to say to you that even though this seems dangerous, there might actually be a lot of benefits to this. I mean, in truth, texting is not that much different from what has been happening in language for years. Language has always been evolving. I mean, we've been doing things like smashing 2 words together to form a new word like brunch. And how could we do without words that once used to be much longer? Words we know well like exam or fridge. I mean, we do things like contractions all the time, like turning a word from like cannot into can't. Like rules about the apostrophe are actually very recent. And for all these things, you have persons at every step that are complaining. So it's not just casual. I mean, we have young people using this casually, but even in the workplace, many of you have seen FYI, for your information, right? very professional. This has been around since 1941. And that shows you how initialisms like these, FYI, LOL, or use the first letter of the word, have been around for quite a while. So, oh my god itself, 1917 is its first use. Or this one is ancient, IOU. It's from the 17th century. So, we've shown that we've already been doing this. We can use it professionally. As a matter of fact, we even invent shorthand just for secretaries and other professional persons to use to condense their messages. And no one complained about language being destroyed, right? Language has always been evolving. It's gone through 3 different stages. First, writing was done in pictographs, like the Egyptian hieroglyphs. And then the second stage was the development of paper, the alphabet, and then the printing press for the automation of arranging the alphabet on paper for distributing writing to the masses. And then the third stage was sending these messages through electronic signals, like what we're doing now with text messaging. Or don't even forget, another form of electronic writing. Do you think this message was formed on a cell phone? This was actually a telegram from 1890 that asks, how are you this morning? We've been doing this for a long time. So, language is moving ahead, and maybe it's not that scary. As a matter of fact, I think that while people are scared that young people are illiterate, they fail to realize that we can write differently depending on our situation. It's called register. Changing your communication based on where you are. For example, I'm a Jamaican, so I speak the Queen's English. But once I got here, I learned quickly that if I spell a word like this, it's going to be incorrect, and I have to do this. Right? In the same way, we know that once our outsiders are saying we ain't going to do something, but come to Toastmasters and we are not going to do it. So we are flexible. And it's been shown that children who are actually better at typing are also better at normal writing. As a matter of fact, 38% of what they do in terms of writing is in the classroom, but the rest of it very public, very conversational. So I'm not here to tell you to just start texting everything, but there are some things you can take from this as a Toastmaster. Number 1, being concise. We have speech number 4 that tells you to be efficient with your use of words. What better practice would there be than Twitter messages of 140 characters? Can you imagine every sentence like that? You'd be so efficient. Also, Toastmasters need to know how to adapt their writing to different situations, like young people do. And the third thing is, besides being concise and adapting your writing, is, I completely forgot that point. But those are 2 things that you can take from texting. Now, in summary, people have different opinions on this, right? They think it's a disaster. Some people think it's a new exciting development. I think while you should take heed of the former and teach your children to make sure they're very literate in every language, at the same time embrace what they're doing. I admire any language that will add this to the dictionary and allow me to express emotions, something like this.
Yeah.
This is